I think it's the 26th, Thursday. Let's see if I can scroll down and look here. Yeah, Thursday the 26th. Well, D, I left a couple videos in your text messages, which I don't know. I assume you get because I did call and it didn't go straight to voicemail. Whether you watch them or not, I don't know. I assume you do. Like the little voicemail things, I don't know if you watch each of those, but I guess you watch the videos. But who fucking knows, really? You know, I know you're obviously pulling away, and so you don't go to Facebook anymore. So who knows? You may not even watch those videos, but two Kevin Gates videos, and then one was a video I made up using that Goo Goo Dolls song Iris, and it, you know, following that trend, which you don't have, you know, Facebook or anything, but there's a trend now where it starts with usually it's a celebrity that was, you know, really a huge celebrity in the 90s or 80s, and it'll say something like, you know, if it's a man, you know, Dad, what were you like in the 90s? Or Mom, what were you like in the 90s? And it'll show them, you know, and usually it's like a little video of them, and then it cuts to the photos of them from the 90s, and it's set to that Goo Goo Dolls song, you know, which is kind of a very romantic, nostalgic song, and closest to heaven that I've ever been. That one. So, you know, I made a video, but I kind of changed the theme a little bit because Carson he asked me a lot about what me and his mom were like, and did we get along when we were together, and because I think she paints that relationship the way you now paint our relationship, everything negative, you know. Even in the beginning, the first 2 months of this, when we were, you know, reuniting a little bit in October, November, you were, you know, still telling me how you loved me and missed me, and I remember when you came to the house, you said, it's not supposed to be like this, and you were like really crying and upset. You're not supposed to be here. And now, every time we've talked, I don't get any nostalgia. I don't get any regret, really. I get, you know, I get a lot of vitriol, a lot of hatred, a lot of, you know, you did this, you did that, you were this, you were that, you didn't love me, you didn't, you know, tell me you loved me, you didn't, you didn't have a job, you didn't help pay my bills. I mean, that's, you know, that's all I get from you. I think for the last 15 years, that's all Michelle has given my kids. And her and I had a hell of a lot of good times together. I mean, the first 3 years we were together, her and I think we had 1 or 2 arguments in the first 3 years. Like, literally. I mean, we were young, and we were just on the top of the world. We had the whole world in front of us. We were both in college. We were both smart. We were both good looking. We felt like kings and queens. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money, but we felt, you know, we had enough money. We went out to dinner when we wanted to. You know, people stared at us everywhere we went. So, you know, we didn't have many reasons to be angry or disappointed in life. We didn't have the baggage that, you know, people our age have from broken marriages and broken relationships and dreams that didn't happen. And so it was easier to be consistently happy, or at least consistently satisfied and looking forward to a bright future. And when you get to be 50, you know that in 20 years, unless you're an anomaly, which I'm hoping to be, but, you know, in 20 years, you know, most people, if you're like most people, you're going to have all types of health issues. You're going to look, you know, old and nobody's going to want you sexually. Nobody's going to, you're just going to be an old person. And then on top of that, you're realizing that the only, if you're not happy where you're at financially, the only chance of really, at 50 something years old, the only chance of really seriously changing that, is slim to none, through work and arranging your life differently. It's going to be hard, although I think it can be done. But you almost have to bet on like a lottery or something, which is obviously not a solid life plan. So, everybody at our age has more stresses. Relationships have more stresses, more bills than, Michelle and I did back in 1995, 96, 97, when we, like I said, spent first 3 or 4 years never ever fighting about anything. Always being happy, always, pretty much, So, I don't know. I made that song up and made the video up with that song, mainly for my son. And to some extent, I like looking at myself when I was fucking 20 years old, and I want people to see, I'm a good looking guy now. I'm not bad looking at all. But I tell you fucking what, at 23, 22, I was just about as good looking as any celebrity. I was at that, close to that fucking level anyway. I may not have been the most handsome man in the world. I may not have been Enrique Iglesias fucking handsome, or Brad Pitt handsome, but I was on the level with a George fucking Clooney, and I had a fucking better physique than him. You better believe that shit. And I had a better physique than Enrique and Brad Pitt too. Unless you like stick, skinny guys like Brad Pitt was in like Fight Club. He was really ripped in that and fairly muscular, but he probably weighed 170 pounds. I haven't weighed 170 pounds since like 10th grade. You know what I mean? Like I'm a real man. Anyway, so I liked seeing myself and how good I looked at that age, and I liked seeing how pretty Michelle was and built and how good we looked together. And I kind of like the idea of people seeing that now. Girls seeing what I was like in my motherfucking prime. So yeah, I made that video up and I uploaded it. Very popular, lots of likes, lots of views. Lots of views. I think, I loaded it to YouTube. It's had, over 1,000 views. And my YouTube videos get like 3 views normally. So, pretty popular video compared to my typical. I don't know why I'm making this video. It's too long to send it to you on the text, and but I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. I realize you'll most likely not watch it, because here's the thing. Even if you decide to get on YouTube and watch the videos today, there's a week's worth of videos you haven't seen, and truthfully, there's another week worth of videos that you didn't see from the week before, because when you got on it last time, which was like 10 days ago, I think you watched one 5-minute video from that Sunday, and all I'm talking about is, that I got up early to go to work and didn't make it to work, and it was Sunday instead of Monday. And then I think I mentioned something about a girl or texting a girl and blah, blah, blah. And since that, you haven't been back on there. So there was probably 5 other videos or more that you hadn't seen before that Sunday video. You watched it on that following Monday, the next day. And then since then, in the last 10, 12 days, whatever it's been, 10 days, 11 days, I posted another video on most days. So there's probably 10 more videos. And then even if you get on tonight, you know, I mean, maybe you'll watch this one, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll watch one of the other 10. Judging by the fact you only watched the 5, you know, I think you watched maybe 3 videos in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You know, you're not going to sit there, judging from that, you're not going to sit there and watch all 10 videos unless something catastrophic happened in your relationship and all of a sudden you're, you know, pining over me and trying to catch up and, you know, figure out some kind of angle with me. I mean, but what's the likelihood of that? You're 6 months in with this kid. You know, actually, you're 6 months in since you threw me out. Who knows how far in you are, really? I'm thinking minimally 8 months, probably 9, 10. And it's possible you started fucking around with him back in, you know, February of last year because, you know, you were getting those late night calls from that one guy. You got 2 or 3 weekends. You got a guy called you, same guy, at like 2 in the morning on a Saturday. And I have screenshots of it somewhere. And you know, left his name and hey, it's whatever the fuck his name was, and you know, it might be this guy here. Or it just might be another guy that you had already started talking to and this guy is the next guy in line or what, who knows. I mean, obviously when you worked at that job, you would go and hide your phone and do shit, even though I was, you know, and you had plenty of opportunities to meet men. You know, you're leaving work, going over to the, you know, to the store. Sometimes there was days that I went past and your car had been moved. The day that you supposedly went to get cash out at the bank. I mean, there's a lot of little, you know, opportunities you had to, you know, and then, like I said, plenty of times that your phone would either shut off for 10, 15, 20 minutes, or you'd leave it in your locker or in the bathroom, you know, for 10, 15, 20 minutes. So, and sometimes it was off for a full hour. You know, there were times of that too. Oh, I don't know what happened. I got my phone out and it was turned on. Yeah, sure. You don't know what happened. Yep. Anyway. So who knows? I mean, you know, you could have had a guy coming around and going out to the parking lot with him. And the fact that you worked with your cousin, you know, she would have covered for your ass. Yeah, go head out, Danielle. Nobody will know.